Hi everyone! We recently upgraded the Lasso proposal based largely on feedback from all of you. The new upgrades are intended to introduce more flexibility and customization options to the proposal and ultimately make it a more compelling tool to engage with leads and win new business. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the new proposal and how to use all of the new features. First things first, let's get oriented to the new layout. So when you go to build a proposal, this is the new default screen that you're going to see. Here at the top of the screen is what I call the summary section. So you can find all of the most important information up here at the top. Here you're going to find the plan name, the lead that shared this plan with you. So in this case, this was a retirement plan that Chelsea built and is looking for help with. And you're going to find the lead's target goal that they want to achieve. So for Chelsea, she wants $200,000 a year in retirement. Right below that, you're going to find the progress meter. So this is always going to show the lead's progress, current progress to their stated goal. So right now you can see that Chelsea is short of the $200,000 a year retirement goal that she has. She's only on track for $170,000 a year. This progress meter defaults to dollar amounts, but you can actually toggle that. So if you wanted to view this in percents, you could change this to a percent view and see that Chelsea is only 85% of the way to her stated goal. Last but not least, over here on the right-hand side is the Your Impact section. So this section is summarizing the impact that you as the advisor have made so far on Chelsea's expected outcomes. This section right now doesn't have any numbers included here because you haven't started to build a proposal, but as I start to build this proposal and make some suggestions about how Chelsea might modify her plan to get on track for her goal, you'll see that the impact section starts to change as well and will always reflect the amount that I have added to the lead's expected outcomes. Now let's move to the center of the screen where this is the meat of their plan and where most of your proposal activity will happen. So here you see all of those inputs that the lead used to build their financial goal or their plan. In the center, you'll see here their original value. So this is actually what they had indicated they are doing today to achieve their goal. And they've told us how much they have saved, how much they're saving every year towards this goal, what their time horizon is, what the goal is, and then finally on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see that they also have selected a asset allocation that most closely matches their risk tolerance or what they're currently invested in. So Chelsea here has indicated that she is a moderate risk tolerance, which maps to this 50-50 asset allocation. Note that these portfolios are not based on any underlying funds at this moment in time. This is just based on indexes. So you can actually, by clicking this default fund universe, you can actually see what this 50-50 portfolio is made of. It's 50% the S&P 500 index and 50% the US aggregate bond index. So now that we're oriented to the proposal, let's actually get started making some suggestions on how Chelsea could improve her plan to get on track to her retirement goal. The first thing that we are going to make a suggestion around will be the portfolio. So I always recommend that you start here, although you could start by making some suggestions about how Chelsea could modify some other elements of her plan. But the portfolio is always going to have the biggest impact on the investor's outcomes. And so this is why this is the best place to start. You can either click the edit icon right next to the portfolio or just navigate to this edit portfolio tab. And the first thing that you'll do is actually choose the funds that you want to use as the basis for your portfolio. You are constrained to the default fund universes that we have available on Lasso. You can find them all here. Clicking on any of these cards will actually show you the funds that are included in each fund universe. So you can browse through all of the fund universes that we have available, or you can use our new filter feature to quickly narrow in on the fund universes that match the characteristics that you're looking for. So you can search for things like specific investment managers, specific fund types, product types, or investment themes. For example, let's say that I wanted to build this lead a passive portfolio that only contains ETFs. I can choose the ETFs only filter, apply that, and now here are the fund universes that only contain ETFs. So I can choose one of these. Let's choose this core ETFs fund universe. And now that I've selected my funds, I have to choose my asset allocation. The asset allocation is always going to start matching what the investor chose. So Chelsea had a 50-50 portfolio, so my portfolio is going to start at 50-50 as well. I can actually see how that 50-50 portfolio is made up of the funds in my fund universe. And at the top, I can see the impact that this portfolio is having on Chelsea's expected outcomes. So in this case, by replacing her 50-50 stock bond index portfolio with now this 50-50 portfolio of core ETFs, I've actually taken Chelsea from being short of her goal to now being exactly on track to the $200,000 a year that she wanted. You'll also notice that the Your Impact section has now updated. So now I can see that by adding in this new portfolio of ETFs, I have added $30,000 a year to Chelsea's expected outcomes. Note that I have also added some risk because return, of course, does not come for free. So I have added some additional variability to her outcomes, which in dollar terms equates to about $6,000 of additional risk added. And again, I can view all of this in percents as well. Now, Chelsea's right on track, so I could just leave it here, but she also has 15 years until retirement, and so I think she could take on a little bit more risk. So I can play with the asset allocation here, moving her anywhere along the spectrum from a 0-100 portfolio all the way to an 100-0 portfolio. So I'm gonna put her into a 60-40 and see what the impact of that will have. You'll see that now Chelsea is more than on track. I've actually added another $20,000 a year to her expected outcomes. So she is now more than on track to her retirement goal. Now that I'm satisfied with the portfolio that I've built, I'm going to go back to the other plan inputs and make some suggestions about how Chelsea might modify other parts of her plan to get right on track to the goal that she wanted. You can make all of these suggestions in this your suggested value column. So each of these inputs, you can suggest to the lead a new value that they might want to consider around their savings or time horizon, or even the goal that they're shooting for. Now, below each input field, you'll see this amount needed to reach this goal. This is a calculated value that you can just use as a guideline to understand exactly how this lead might need to change this input to get right on track to the goal that they wanted. So for example, Chelsea today has $1 million saved towards retirement. That, in combination with these other inputs and the new portfolio that I built her, has put her more than on track to her goal. So you can see that she could actually take some of that current savings, put it towards a different goal, and still be on track to the retirement income that she wanted. In fact, she could have as little as $890,000 saved towards retirement and still hit that $200,000 goal that she wants. So you can see here, I'll just show you what that looks like. If I put in 890 here, now Chelsea is exactly on track to the $200,000 that she wanted. So you can play around with all of these values and make suggestions. The calculated value, it will always recalculate to give you a guideline on how you can help this investor reach their goal exactly, but you don't have to use the suggested value that is here if you don't want to. So I'm going to go ahead and say, maybe for Chelsea, she might want to consider retiring 1 year earlier. And that doesn't get her exactly on track. She still has a little bit of excess cushion here in her expected outcomes, but gets her right in the ballpark of where she wants to be for her retirement income. Last but not least, the last new feature that we added was you can now include a personalized note to a lead. So you can write a letter to them That includes your contact information. It can include more information about you or your practice, or additional explanation around the proposal that you just built for this lead. So I'm going to go ahead and include a note to Chelsea that just adds a little bit more of a personal touch to the proposal that I've built. And I'm finished. Now, before I send this, I may want to take a look and just see what Chelsea is going to see when she receives this. So if you go down and hit the proposal preview button, this is going to show you exactly what the investor is going to see when they receive your proposal. So in this case, Chelsea is going to see that I, the advisor, have now gotten her more than on track to the goal that she wanted. And I've done that by building her this new portfolio of core ETFs and by actually suggesting that she retire a year earlier. She can compare that to her plan where she's retiring later and was in that 50-50 index portfolio, but was short of her goal by about 15% or by about $30,000. Last but not least, she can view the letter that I sent as a part of the proposal as well, so can get more background information about me that hopefully will compel her to set up a meeting and discuss this proposal that I am sending over. Once I'm satisfied with the proposal, I can go ahead and hit send. Now, the last new feature that we added to the proposal process was the ability for you to follow up with leads. So if Chelsea receives this and does not respond within a few days or within a week, you can actually send her a follow-up note. If you come back to the proposal that you sent, you'll now see this follow-up button. Clicking that will bring up the ability to write Chelsea a follow-up letter that will get sent over to her, ping her, remind her to review your proposal, and include any additional information that hopefully will get her over the line to schedule some time on your calendar. You can send up to 3 follow-up notes to every lead, and this hopefully will let you get them in the door of your office and on the road to becoming a new client. So that is how the new proposal builder works. We hope that this is a very compelling tool for you to engage new leads and ultimately to win new business and grow your practice.